Hello YouTubers and welcome back to another episode of Wi-Fi Battling. The battle I have for you today is a battle against Dan, who is an ex-member of Silver League. Now, we have agreed to some slightly different rules in this battle, mainly the no team preview rule. How is this possible, you ask? Well, you simply cover the top screen of the DS with something so you cannot see your opponent's team. Now, this rule is completely self-imposed and there is no way to make sure that both players follow through. However, watching this video, you will notice we're not making predictions like we would normally do, so it's safe to assume that neither of us have cheated. This ended up being a very interesting battle, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Let's see what happens. This time, I am heading into unknown territory. I have no idea what the lead is gonna be, but hopefully my Venomoth will be able to handle it. And the lead this time ends up being a Durant. But it's not using the Hustle Hone Claws combination like usual. It uses Entrainment, so I was like, what? This guy's trying to give me Trant? But my Venomoth has the Wonder Skin ability because she uses moisturizers and other skincare products, so she manages to avoid the Entrainment this time. Now he's forced to switch out into his T-Tar as I baton pass into my Porygon Z. Now I should note that even though this Tron entrainment strategy may sound silly at first, it's actually quite deadly if you manage to trap an unsuspecting victim with either Area Trap or Shadow Tag. Okay, so Porygon Z comes out and activates the U-Torrent, but the only thing that gets downloaded is an attack boost. And I wanted the special attack boost, so this Torrent sucks. I go for my Hidden Power Fighting, hoping to take down the mighty T-Tar in one hit, because I am at +1 and I have the Expert Belt, but it just does not happen, probably due to the special defense boost that comes from the Sandstorm. But then it randomly uses a red card to send in my Salamence, and I was like, what the hell, this isn't a football game? And Salamence gets to take a crunch to the face. This is not going according to plan. I did not want Salamence taking any damage this early in the game. But what can you do? So I go for my Outrage just to get the Moxie boost, and I guess to scout out what he's gonna try and counter Salamence with. And he ends up sending back his Durant, which leads me to believe that this is probably the only Steel type on his team, and I am to expect a Dugtrio or a Gothitelle at some point in the future. Now, this Durant, being a Steel type and all, manages to take the Outrage quite nicely, and is left at about 45%, but then it randomly switches out with the eject button, and I was like, what is up with these weird items? I mean, first red card, then the eject button. Okay, but I'm not gonna judge. So now out comes this Quagsire, and I am hoping that this is not the Dream World variant with Unaware, because I like the boost, and if it has Unaware, my stat boosts mean nothing. It goes for the Stockpile, which raises its defense and special defense, but this move can only be used 3 times. Though all it takes is one Stockpile to make this thing incredibly hard to kill. So I need a plan, and I need a plan fast. I try to put this thing to sleep, but it fails. It never seems to work when I really need it to. He goes for the Scald. Luckily he doesn't get the burn, but the Sandstorm keeps negating my Black Sludge recovery, which sucks. In the next turn, I believe I went for a Quiver Dance to try and get some boosts and Baton Pass, still hoping that this Quagsire doesn't have Unaware. But then he goes for a Earthquake, which is weird. So this is some kind of a weird physical, special, bulky mixed Quagsire. Look at it, it has such a silly face. Silly frog. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. I go for the Roost to get my health back up and try and Baton Pass. Like, that was the only plan I had at the moment, but then this happens. He uses Earthquake and gets a critical hit. The crit mattered, because if it did not get a critical hit, I would have been able to Baton Pass or do anything, but now I'm dead, so that sucks. Okay, so now I'm gonna send in my Porygon Z again, which is a virtual duck designed to explore alien dimensions, or in this case, an alien team. And I actually get the special attack boost this time, which sorta contradicts what I said earlier about not getting one ever. But does it really matter in this situation? I mean, I'm still not sure what kind of an ability this Quagsire has, but judging by the damage, I'd say it doesn't have Unaware, because then it will be taking like neutral damage at +1 special defense, and I guess that would do less damage. I go for another Tri Attack because that's all I can do at this point. And this second one does a lot more damage, so I'm guessing I got a high damage roll. I don't know. He goes for an Earthquake and sends me tumbling down in the red zone. But I do get to fire off one last Tri Attack, so all my hopes lie in this next move. Will it be enough to take down this very annoying amphibian? And the answer is yes. It indeed takes out this Quagsire, and I am so relieved I don't have to deal with it anymore. It didn't get to use Recover, so that's just awesome. He's gonna send in his Dugtrio now and go for a very evil Protect, letting nature take its course and killing off my Porygon Z with the Sandstorm damage. Such an unfitting end for my heroic little duck. But what can you do? That's life. Okay, I have no plan at this point other than to outrage all the things, because I know that without the Dugtrio, the Durant serves no purpose. So I go for my outrage, but this happens. He goes for Earthquake and gets another critical hit. Damn, this battle is hacksy, and the crit mattered again, because unless you haven't noticed, there is a Sandstorm raging, and I'm going to get taken out by the Sandstorm again. So this guy has taken out two of my Pokemon using the same method. It is so evil. This is one evil mole. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling the urge to do some revenge. So I go ahead and send in my Hellbeat, so Dugtrio can say hello to Prankster. I go for the Confuse Ray, and Lady Luck smiles on me because this weird mole triplet thingy hits itself in the confusion, and it dies, so that's cool. He's gonna go ahead and send in his Duran again because he really wants to give me the Taunt and negate my Prankster, but it doesn't worry me all that much. Okay, so on the next turn, I believe I went for a Tail Glow, but looking back, this was a mistake. I should have Confuse Raid or Thunder Wave this thing, but we all make mistakes, right? And now it finally gets to use Entrainment and give me Taunt. Okay, so this is one lazy Firefly now. It's no longer gonna fly across the night sky chasing after Illumise. It now just sits at home, eats donuts, and watches Animal Planet or whatever. Okay, so now we have a turn of Stare Down because we're both loafing around, because that's what we do, we loaf around. Now on this next turn, I actually forgot I no longer have Prankster, so he is able to outspeed me and use Thunder Wave, only to get hit by a Thunder Wave of my own. So I guess great bugs think alike. Now we're both paralyzed and we have Tron, so that's just awesome. Since this is getting quite tedious, I'm going to switch out of here into my Salamence. Now I don't know how fast his other teammates are because I haven't seen the entire team yet, but my guess is that they're not faster than a Scarfed Salamence. So I'm gonna go ahead and Outrage, hoping to get a Moxie boost because that will help me greatly in this match. But this thing lives up to its name of being durable and survives with like 1 HP. At least it loses a turn to Paralysis, but that doesn't make me feel any happier. So he's gonna withdraw it now and switch into Gliscor, because Gliscor has like awesome defenses and he can take this Outrage with no problem. Also, because he switches in, he now gets the Toxic Orb to activate, and that's gonna heal his HP by a fairly large amount each turn while I get confused. Now, I was gonna switch out my Salamence to like preserve it for later, but he uses this as an opportunity to set up the late game Stealth Rocks. Better late than never, right? And now with the Stealth Rocks up, Salamence is as good as dead because once I switch in, it's game over for him. The only thing my Hellbeat can do to this Gliscor is Confuse Ray him, but I don't really benefit from Confusion all that much because even if he hits himself in Confusion, he's just gonna heal off the damage with the Poison Heal, so all that really happens is that he loses a turn, but that's kinda good, I guess. I decide to switch out my Hellbeat into my Salamence, which is basically now Death Fodder. It's kinda sad, you know, using a dragon as Death Fodder. However, he decides to switch out also. He switches out into his Duran again because he doesn't want to like lose a valuable turn or risk, I don't know, confusion. Not sure why he did this. So Salamence comes in, takes the Stealth Rocks and dies heroically. And now I'm going to reveal who my last Pokemon is. It's Nidoking, of course. That was a shocker, right? At least I have the pleasure of sending this Durant straight to hell with my flamethrower. This thing has annoyed me throughout the match, but I guess that was its job and it did its job well. And now he's going to reveal his last Pokemon, which is a Reuniclus. Out of all the 649 Pokemon, did it have to be Reuniclus? Why couldn't it have been like a Farfetch'd or something? I don't know. Okay, so Hellbeat is going to come in and take the Stealth Rock damage along with a Psychic, but since I'm max special defense, I am able to live, so this is one tenacious little Hellbeat. Okay, so as a final farewell present, I'm going to fire off a Confuse Ray due to a lack of anything better to do, I guess, but Reuniclus is going to break through the confusion and take out my Hellbeat, so now I am down to my last Pokemon, Nidoking. I'm gonna go ahead and fire off an Earth Power, hoping that maybe he would stay in and risk the confusion hacks, but of course not, that's not gonna happen. He's gonna play it safe and switch into Gliscor, which is immune to my ground move, but it doesn't really matter because on the following turn I'll be able to take it out with an Ice Beam because I know I can outrun a defensive Gliscor. This does not resolve my problem, however, because now we are both down to our last Pokemon, Nidoking versus Reuniclus. And guess who has the advantage? I'm gonna give you a little hint, its name starts with an R. Okay, so unless I get a critical hit, that's that. So let's see if I got the Miracle Saving Grace critical hit. No, I didn't. And I get hit by a Psychic. So that will be the end of my Nidoking and the end of this match. So the victory goes to my opponent, Dan. Good game, Dan. Really good game. I really enjoyed this battle. It made me remember the good old days of Gen 4 and just that suspense of not knowing what your opponent's team holds. In my opinion, they should definitely try and incorporate this back into Gen 6. Perhaps make team preview optional, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and if I could borrow a like or two, it would be greatly appreciated.